Yeah.
So that's one thing. Second, if you approach her like this, when she gets ready to put her shoes on, it's not going to be out of fear.
Yeah.
This was more fun to have him interact with you this way, wasn't it?
Yeah. I liked it when he looked at my picture.
Yeah.
I mean, I really feel quite moved right now. There's a lot stirred inside me because of how clear I am that this is how I would rather interact with my daughter, and especially what you said about fear, really wanting there to be an absence of fear in my relationship with my daughter. And still,
the skepticism so
is there. Yeah.
Let's approach it. Let's kind of like take apart what it means for something to work. And let's look at short term and long term. Very often, I see parents compromise the long term for the short term.
Like Monday through Friday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In other words, get the child out the door, no matter what the cost is, and lose the sweetness of the connection over time.
Yeah.
Then you end up reaching teenage years, which we'll look at later in this program. And here's the logic. If you're trying to control the child, it's a losing game. Over time, the child will have more and more capacity and power to push back. And the more power to push back they have, the more they will. If you build a foundation of collaboration, it only gets stronger over time. So, in the moment, trying to get out the door, you may not be able to do this. Outside the situation, you might be able to. For example, I want to see if you can try to have a conversation with Emily, no matter how young she is. Let's say we didn't have this sweet exchange right now, and see if she might have any ideas for how to make it work in the morning. Just present the dilemma to her.
And this would not be at 8 in the morning? This would
No,
be
this would be
time.
some other time when you're sitting together and you're having a sweet time.
Okay. All right. Emily, do you remember this morning when we were trying to get ready for school?
Yeah.
Was that fun?
No, I didn't like it.
Yeah. I didn't really like it very much either. I really want the mornings to be more fun, and I also really want to get out the door in the morning. Do you have any ideas about how we could make the mornings more fun?
And still get out the door in time.
And still
Because
get out the door in time.
See, the thing is that you want to make what is important to her and what is important to you part of the solution. If you just ask her, what can we do to make it more fun? Just come look at my pictures for the whole morning. So in asking the question, you want to include both of you already. Do you have any ideas how we can make it more fun and get out the door so that I can get to work in time? What can we do to make it work in the morning? You'll be surprised. Sometimes they will have ideas that you didn't even think about. My sister and her partner, when their son was about 2, then they brought dilemmas to him. About a quarter of the time, he would come up with suggestions that neither one of them thought about. So try it out, see what happens.
Emily, I really want to make the mornings more fun for both of us, and it's a lot of fun for me when I get to work at the time I'd like to be there.
Is it really fun?
For me, it's more fun. It's very stressful when I get to work when I'm late or when later than people would like me to be there. So it is more fun for me to be there on time. And at the same time, I want it to be fun for you. So I'm wondering, do you have any ideas of how we can make the morning more fun and get out at the time Daddy wants to get out?
I want to be able to finish my picture. Can you help me finish a picture?
Before you even deal with this, do you see how just asking her the question, she's engaging at a different level already?
Yeah, yeah.
Even asking the question in that moment that she takes, you're already together.
Yeah.
And if you start changing the culture of your dialogue to have this happen more and more and more, there's going to be less and less and less friction between you. Do you see that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I noticed that you were starting to say, I'm worried, and I want you to start off with a thank you, Emily, because she's trying to do what you asked her to do. She's trying to work with you. Do you feel that? Let her know. She put a lot of effort into this. I could see on her face.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone there. I really appreciate that coaching. So thank you. Thanks, Emily. I really like that idea. Sounds like you'd like some help finishing those pictures in the morning. That would really make it more fun for you. Is that right? Yeah. Do you have any ideas of how you'd like that help?
Well, maybe you can look and give me ideas while you're packing my lunch.
So you'd show me your pictures while I was packing your lunch?
Yeah. And you could tell me some colors to add that you would like to see in my picture too.
Would you be willing to do that after you put your shoes on?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously things might change in the morning, but just hearing your yes, I feel that there's a partnership here that I'm appreciating.
This is exactly the kind of thing that where there's a back and forth designed to make things work for both of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question. Let's say, Dad connects with
Emily?
and she still says no. I mean, maybe this is the first time and they haven't quite gotten it out yet. And does he get to at some point just pick her up and take her out the door and bring her to the car? I mean, what happens? How many times can he be late to work?
Yeah. So the thing is, there's what you do and there's the intentionality with which you do it. So if the situation is such that he really needs to get out the door, just needs to get out the door, then he'll pick her up and take her out the door and express his mourning about doing it. I'm so sad to be picking you up. I know that that's not what you want. I wish I could stay home with you and draw pictures all day long. I just don't know how to do that. I really need to get back to work and I'm so sorry. Or something like this that conveys to her that he cares about her needs. He's just beyond imagination about how to meet her needs.
And that starts to build the trust, even if we hope,
It's certainly more trust than, stop that, you have to go.
All right, thank you.
And I'm also curious to know if there's anything that either of you can say that you took from this show, from this role play. Sam in particular.
Yeah, I guess I'm really struck at just how, I'm kind of overwhelmed, in fact, by just how much power and resource I have, and to create the type of connection that I want. Right, and what you said about my daughter, about Emily, having the same feelings but thinking differently, and being attuned to that and aware of how much power and resource I have is really humbling for me, actually.
Thank you. Anything you want to say, Emily, before we take a break?
I would really like Daddy to be happier.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. We'll be back with another scenario. See you soon.
Illusion will fall, I'll still be here at the end of it all.